Hello, friends. Welcome to SWT English Learning. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest challenges English learners face, listening. Now, I'm not talking about listening with subtitles. I mean real listening, the kind of listening where you actually hear English, understand it, and don't need to rely on text on the screen. Think about it. Maybe you've watched English movies or TV shows. Maybe you enjoy YouTube videos in English. But every time you quickly turn on subtitles. Why? Because without them, you feel lost. Subtitles feel safe. They give you comfort. But here's the truth. When your eyes are reading, your ears stop working. You think you're listening, but really you're reading. Then, when you finally switch subtitles off, suddenly you understand almost nothing. This is the trap many learners fall into. Subtitles become like a chair you always sit on. Without it, you feel like you can't stand. So the question is, how do you break free from this? How do you train your ears to understand English naturally? Here's the secret. Listening is not about how many hours you listen. It's about how you listen. You don't need to memorize endless vocabulary lists. You don't need to sit for 10 hours a day with your headphones on. What you need is the right method, a way to train your brain step by step until English sounds clear, natural, and alive. And the first step is choosing the right material. This is where most learners make their first mistake. They pick something far too difficult. Maybe they turn on a political debate on TV, where the speakers argue fast and use advanced words. Or they try to watch a crime drama with complicated slang and background noise. After 5 minutes, they feel frustrated and say, "My English is terrible, I can't understand anything." But the truth is, the problem isn't you. The problem is the material. Imagine trying to lift 100 kilograms at the gym on your very first day. Of course you'll fail. But if you start with 5 kilograms, you succeed. You grow stronger, and step by step you get ready for more. Listening is the same. In the beginning, you need high-context English. This means English where the situation helps you understand, even if you don't know every word. For example, think of a simple cooking video in English. You see the chef cutting vegetables, boiling water, adding salt. Even if you don't catch every word, the actions guide your brain. You hear, "chop the onion," while you see the knife moving. Your brain connects sound and meaning. Another example, a beginner-level podcast where the host talks slowly about daily life, like taking the bus, buying bread, or meeting a friend. These are situations you already know. You don't panic if you miss a word because you understand from context. This is the safe starting point. High-context listening gives you confidence. It's like learning to swim in shallow water before going into the deep ocean. Step by step, your ears grow stronger. So the first golden rule is choose simple, clear, high-context material. Cartoons, beginner podcasts, short daily life videos. They make your brain connect sounds and meaning, and this is the foundation of real listening.
Now that we've talked about choosing the right material, let's focus on how to listen. Here's the mistake many learners make. They press play, listen once, and then stop. After one try, they say, "I don't understand." They feel discouraged and give up. But your ears and brain don't work that way. Understanding English is not instant magic. Just like your muscles need repeated exercise, your ears also need repeated training. That's why I recommend something I call the 3-step listening method. This method is simple but powerful. It means you listen to the same audio 3 times, each time with a different goal. Step 1. Listen for the big picture. The first time you listen, Don't stress about details. Don't chase every single word. Your only question is, what is this about? That's it. For example, imagine listening to a short story. You may not understand every word, but you notice it's about a family visiting the park. Or maybe it's about a student preparing for an exam. That's enough. You've caught the general idea, and that's your success in step 1. Step 2. Listen for key phrases. The second time, focus on important phrases that repeat or carry meaning. A phrase might be something like, I missed the bus, or she was very happy. These short word groups are like building blocks of the story. The more you notice them, the stronger your listening becomes. For example, if you hear the phrase, I went shopping 2 or 3 times, your brain starts to remember how it sounds as a unit, not just separate words. This helps you recognize it faster the next time you hear it. Step 3. Listen for details. On the third try, pay attention to the little things, numbers, times, colors, or extra descriptions. Maybe the story says the person woke up at 6:30, or they bought 2 books, or it was raining outside. You don't need to understand all of them, but noticing some details makes the picture more complete. Think of it like looking at a painting. The first time, you see the whole picture from far away. The second time, you notice the main shapes. The third time, you see the tiny brush strokes and colors. Together, all 3 views give you a full picture. That's how listening works. 1 listen is never enough, but 3 focused listens, that's powerful. And here's something important. Don't worry if you still miss words even after listening 3 times. That's normal. The goal is not 100% perfection. The goal is training your ears to recognize patterns, phrases, and meanings step by step. So, whenever you practice, remember this golden method. Big picture to key phrases to details. Use it daily, even for just 10 minutes, and you'll notice how quickly your listening improves.
One of the biggest fears English learners have is this. If I don't understand every word, I will miss the meaning. This fear makes listening stressful. You hear a new word, you panic, and suddenly your brain stops working. You feel lost. But here's the truth. You don't need to understand every single word. Even native speakers don't. Think about it. 2 native English speakers are talking. One person uses a technical word like algorithm or metabolism. The other person doesn't know it. Do they stop and say, "Oh no, my English is terrible"? Of course not. They keep listening, they understand the main idea, and they move on. This is exactly what you should do. Focus on the message, not on the dictionary. How to catch the meaning without every word. When you listen, look for clues in the situation. Keywords, words like train or late or ticket, give you the main idea even if you miss the rest. Tone of voice. If someone sounds excited, angry, or tired, you already understand part of the meaning. Context. If you're in a cafe and someone says something with coffee, it's easy to guess the conversation is about ordering or drinking. For example, imagine someone says, "Hey, do you want to grab some pizza later?" Maybe you don't understand the word grab, but you hear pizza and later, and you notice it's a question. That's enough. You know the person is inviting you to eat pizza with them. Train your brain to fill the gaps. Your brain is smarter than you think. It can connect pieces of information and fill missing parts. This is how children learn their first language. They don't understand every word, but they get the meaning through tone, gestures, and context. You can train your brain the same way. Next time you listen and miss a word, don't stop. Keep going. Tell yourself, I don't need 100%, I just need the message. Let go of perfection. Perfection is your enemy. If you try to understand every single sound, you will get tired, frustrated, and lose motivation. Real English is fast, full of slang, and sometimes unclear, even for natives. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. So think of listening like watching a football match. If you miss 5 seconds while looking away, you still know which team is winning. The same is true with English. You don't need every second. You need the overall story. So repeat this rule every time you practice. Focus on the message, not on every word. This mindset will transform your listening. You'll feel more relaxed, more confident, and more open to understanding English the natural way.
Now that you know the secrets of listening, choosing the right material, using the 3-step method, and focusing on the message instead of every word, the final step is practice. Real progress doesn't come from listening once in a while. It comes from building a daily habit. Think of listening like brushing your teeth. You don't brush for 3 hours once a week. You brush a few minutes every day. That's what keeps your teeth healthy. Listening works the same way. Short, consistent practice is more powerful than long, random sessions. Start small and stay consistent. You don't need hours of practice. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day can change your listening skills if you do it regularly. Pick a time that fits your routine, maybe during breakfast, on the bus, or before bed. The important thing is not how long, but how consistent. Choose material that feels alive. Your listening practice should not be boring. Don't force yourself to only listen to textbooks or news reports. Instead, choose things you enjoy. Love cooking? Watch short English recipes. Love sports? Listen to simple sports podcasts. Love stories? Try easy audiobooks. When you enjoy the topic, your brain relaxes and learns faster. Mix it up. Variety is also important. If you only listen to one type of English, you'll get stuck. Try mixing podcasts for storytelling, videos for visual support, songs for rhythm and pronunciation, conversations, even short ones, for real-life practice. This variety gives your ears different experiences, so you can adapt to different voices and styles. Practice without subtitles. Remember, subtitles are not your friend here. In the beginning, they feel safe, but they stop your ears from working. So train yourself to listen without them. If you really need subtitles, use them at the very end, not at the start. First, listen 3 times without text. Then check the subtitles to see what you missed. This way, subtitles become a tool, not a crutch. Track your progress. Sometimes learners don't notice their own improvement. They say, "I still don't understand," but actually, they're much better than before. To see your growth, record your practice. For example, choose one podcast today, and then listen to the same one again after 3 months. You'll be surprised how much more you understand. That feeling gives you motivation to keep going. Believe in the process. Finally, remember this. Listening is not magic. It's training. Every day you practice, your brain builds stronger connections. Every day your ears learn to catch sounds more clearly. Progress may feel slow at first, but after weeks and months, you'll look back and see a huge difference. So make listening a habit. Keep it simple, keep it daily, and keep it enjoyable. And that's how you build real listening skills with SWT English Learning. No more fear, no more dependence on subtitles. Just confident, natural English listening, step by step, every single day.